over 40, nearly 45 and a half wraps.
Shall I hit it? Cuddles.
Join me on the bank of Grenville Lake, my syndicate water. I managed to drag myself out of bed early this morning, not really feeling 100% full of cold to be honest, but I made the effort to get up here, got to the gate nice and early. It's first come first serve, so I was at the gate at about 5:30 I think. Not allowed in till 7 o'clock, but I've got the swim I wanted. I had to wait a couple of hours for it, but yeah, I got in the swim, put a solid bag out on one rod, and that's produced 3 fish today, 3 little stockies. Unfortunately, we put one of them back when we first got it in the net, and the other 2 we had in the net waiting to photograph and sorting the mat out, and they escaped from the landing net, so it was a bit of a disaster. But got a couple of hours left of light, so I feel that we've still got another chance of a bite. If not, it's looking good for tomorrow.
Six o'clock, girl, time is ticking slow. I feel I know you, but I never seen you before. Voice on the telephone is all I ever known. I'm getting nervous, but I know it's too late to go. Much too late to go now. And then I see you, girl, standing over there.
I just had this pretty little mirror, I don't know, low double I should think, pretty little fish. We'll see him sticking his fin up for us. Nothing during the night, it was extremely quiet, very mild though I have to say for the time of year. Conditions are looking good for today. Probably got about 24 hours left of the session, so fingers crossed one of the Grenville big uns will turn up and make an appearance. This is the rig and the lead setup that I use for my solid bag fishing. Firstly, strip 10 inches, 8 to 10 inches of 20 pound Cameltech soft. Overhand loop knot. This is a multi-rig that I'm tying. That's what I use in my bags if I use a pop-up. But I use a figure of 8 loop knot. Not too big because I don't want the pop-up sitting too high. Set that down. Trim it off. And now what I do from here, because I'm fishing it in a solid bag, I want the hook link to be nice and supple, so I strip all of the material back and just leave the loop coated. Next thing's hook. Again, size 6 straight point SR. Push that through there. And then a micro ring swivel. Get threaded on next. Over the top of the hook. And put it down. And you can see by the time that's finished, it's only going to be popped up inch and a half, something like that, real low. Anti-tangle sleeve before I tie the knot on. Just cut a bit off, a small bit, and I'll show you how I attach that in onto the lead setup in a second. The length of my rigs and solid bags, it varies, anything between 4 and 6 inches. something like that, depending on the situation, depending on the size of the fish that I'm fishing for. If I'm fishing for bigger fish, I do try and give the fish a little bit more rope to hang themselves. Smaller fish, I might shorten the hook links a bit. So that's pretty much the rig done. You just need to attach the hook bait. Again, small little pop-up. Because obviously you're only fishing pellets generally in a solid bag, so you want a small hook bait. You don't want it to, you know, be too big. Piece of bait floss onto the swivel. Thread it down, pull the bait into the swivel like that. Then you can either just cut it off here, and I just tend to blob the remaining bait floss, wet your finger and just blob it down. That's never coming off. So, and then just a little bit of putty. Obviously I'll critically balance this. This is not, you know, there's no exact. Obviously some people like their hook baits critically balanced, some don't. So this is obviously something you have to play about with yourself, you know, in the margin before you tie the bag up. Oh. And just quickly saying what I've said about testing the hook bait first. Obviously, then the hook link's going to be wet. So after you've tested the hook link in the lake to make sure you're happy with the buoyancy, there's a couple of ways of getting over that. Obviously, because you're then trying to tie a solid bag with a wet hook link. So you can then either dip the hook link into some ground bait to try and dry the hook link off, or dip it into some oil or something like that, so it counteracts the water in it where it won't melt the bag. Next, attach it to my lead setup. Generally, well, not generally, all the time, if I'm fishing a solid bag, I'll fish an inline lead, and normally an inline drop-off setup. So you just loop the hook link onto the swivel. Just pull the sleeve over. This is the Fox system. Just a piece of rubber goes in the front with the swivel on, and the lead core or line, whatever you're using, over the top. Moisten the little sleeve at the back, and it just inserts into the back of the lead like so. And that is my setup for a solid bag. Right, well, nothing else has happened since that fish this morning. It's been very quiet. Doesn't look quite as good. The wind's dropped off a bit, but I'm now getting the rods repositioned for the night. I've just put some more bait out on the main spot. There's probably about 10 kilos out there now in total. So I'm going to try an essential cell pop-up on one rod and an activate dumbbell with pineapple topper. I've put out activate an essential cell. So, and my third rod, which has produced the 3 fish so far, it's just been on a solid bag, so I'm just going to persevere with that. It might nick me another fish or two, but like I say, it's gone quiet, but I think it's gone quiet for everyone, so I'll just keep plugging away with that, and yeah, hopefully one of the big Grenville units will turn up. I'm now going to run you through my technique step by step for long range spotting. drop on the rod is down to the spigots. Feet sort of roughly shoulder width apart, but obviously standing forward. Weight right on the back foot, arms nice and high, but not locked out. And from here, I'll take a big step forward, pull him with my left hand, push him with my right, and I've got to give it all of my might because I'm fishing at 44 wraps, which is 176 yards. So, right, here goes. Right, away it goes. Onto the clip, donk. Fish finally got on the bait last night. I've had 2 fish off the long range baited area, the Activate and the Essential Cell. I've just been fishing little snowmen rigs over the top and little pineapple pop up on the other rod. So this one's 27 pounds 12 ounces and the other one is 28 pound exactly. So gorgeous little fish, this one, absolutely lovely. So it's flat calm today. I mean, we're going to give it most of the day, but I'm not holding too much hope up, to be honest. The conditions are, yeah, looking pretty pants, to be fair. But it's been a good session, 6 fish. So this might be the last fish, but if I get something else between now and the time we go, I'll keep you updated.